Tafon Nchukwi,
Yes,
mon
sir.
ami.
Yeah,
It's
how you
good
doing?
to have you here finally.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh
man.
yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
So how did we get here? You're a brother from Cameroon, and then now you're in the UFC. Can you explain that?
Well, me and Free have a very fond relationship, you know. So, was looking for something to occupy my time. I was 19 years old. Just finished high school. Started off college a little bit. Saw a 30-day free trial for a mixed martial arts program, and went up to sign up. And 10 years later, here I am, talking to you, UFC gear and all.
We gonna blame it on the free trial.
Free trial, man. You got free trial. Shit, you know. Now that I'm older, I do kind of question a lot of the free stuff out there because scammers they do reach out, but but my free trial got me to a good place, so I'm happy.
As a guy who started off in kickboxing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you make the transition into MMA. How tough was that, or how easy was that? Should I say?
Oh, it was a pretty slight, nice and easy transition because the gym that I started off with, they had both jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. So when I started, I was doing both at the same time. So the goal was eventually to do MMA. So started off striking, did my jiu-jitsu, competed there as well. So my transition was pretty fluid.
Fluid.
Yeah.
What about in terms of weight cutting? I know you don't cook. You're West African, like myself. You're a West African boy. You don't cook.
You still learn, man. You still got time.
There's
Don't
still
listen to
time.
this
There's still
man,
time.
okay?
No, there's
Listen,
time.
you're never too old to learn.
Exactly. See?
While you in the kitchen, let me just say this.
Inspiration, man.
While he's in the kitchen, I know your mama is cooking for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, because the background,
Yes,
I can
sir.
tell.
Mm-hmm.
How was it that you told her? Because as I have an African mom, it must have been stressful or at least difficult in terms of the outcome of what she said.
Oh yeah, man. The lead up to the time when I finally decided this is what I really wanted to do, and I was like, okay, it's time to stop hiding it and bring it forward to my mom. You know, that was kind of a stressful time. How this conversation, I went through that conversations many times in my head.
Yeah.
But then when I finally came to her, approached her about it, and she almost broke me down. She almost derailed me from this track right off the top. Told me, she said these words right here, these bars. How are you going to leave your country fighting to come here and fight? I said, damn. That hit me. Even the drive going back to training for a couple of weeks and months, I'm like, God dang. Why am I doing something wrong? But I stuck to it. You know, this is what I decided I wanted to do. So I stuck to it, and now we're here. I have a lot more support now with my family, my mom. They're all behind me now.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, how do you mentally prepare for a fight?
Well, fight. Mentally preparing. It just comes with the training. You know, I have trained with high level athletes in here, world champions. Like, they put me through the ringer. So by the time I get to the ring, I'm already locked in. I already know there's no way I'm gonna come out of here without the win. So I'm always locked in. Thanks to my training partners, my coach.
Lord,
They get me ready.
beautiful.
Yes, sir. They get me ready.
So you make it all the way with knockout after knockout. You get into the Contender Series, and then you meet Dana White and you get a contract. Explain to me how that was.
Oh man, that was the best feeling ever, man. It was a sigh of like, man, I've hit the first step to my goal of becoming a UFC champion. But as far as like meeting Dana, that was like just like secondary to like making it there and actually getting that win. So that was my main focus.
So in terms of, before we get into the UFC fight, which was a brilliant knockout, we had he's tend to be extremely nonviolent. He's on that spectrum, while I'm on the other side in terms of be respectful. African parents, be very kind, but if you fuck around, you will find out.
So we just agree to disagree.
Disagree. While him is like extremely nonviolent, show more emotion, and so on and so forth. I think bullying, we had a segment, I think bullying is necessary in terms of making a man grow. While him, on the other hand, he does not feel the same. So where do you lean in that spectrum? Are you in the middle? Are you a bit more conservative? Or are you more on a lesser side?
I would say you could find me like in the middle range because like bullying, I wouldn't say is necessary. Like the line comes when you start going too far. It's like playful like bullying where you're playing, y'all just playing around. You know each other's limits.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna push your buttons too far to the point where it's like I'm gonna consider it bullying.
Yeah.
If I get to a point and I notice I say something and they don't respond to it too well, I'm gonna cut it right there.
Yeah.
But if you keep pushing it to the point where you start like causing this person like to the point where they're thinking of being attacking you, then that's too far.
We've
gone way too far.
And then you don't know what the person is dealing with behind closed doors.
Exactly.
That's why it's very important to just be respectful and mindful of just other people. Period.
You have to be.
There's a lot of school shooters now.
There's people out here with a lot of like mental problems. Like you said, you don't know what they're dealing with. So
that is true. He also had a question about weight cutting.
Yeah, weight cutting, because I see you're a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
So for you, what was the journey like for you to get to where you are today?
Man,
in terms of weight.
As far as weight, man, that's a journey I'm still fighting today. To this day, in the weight of Deontay, in the words of Deontay Wilder. It's like it has been such a big part of like my journey as well, because it's like I have to change a lot of my bad habits, which I've grown up and like kind of installed in me, as far as like my food, my dieting. It's the first one that I had to do when I had to make down to 85 was like the roughest one, you know. I had to diet all the way down from 255 all the way down to 218 and then cut the weight. And it's like, man, it's not easy at all, man.
As a boxer, I find it strange that MMA has such a huge gap in terms of you have a 155 weight class and then it skips all the way to a 70 weight class.
Yeah.
So coming from that side, this side of the world, to go into that side, what do you think about it in terms of, we have a bunch of weight classes, but in that side, like, what do you feel like it's more compelling, or do you think that we have it too easy?
I would say y'all have it. I think y'all have it right. I feel like there should be a good amount of gaps with multiple amount of weight classes, where people don't have to feel the need to cut so much weight to be competitive. Like if MMA had like good amount like spread outs with the weight classes, that would be great. I feel like that'll be a lot safer too as well for the fighters too. So I wouldn't say it's easy. I mean, it is easy, but it's better that way. You know, like you want to be able to be in your training and focusing on your training and not focusing on cutting weight.
Yeah,
that's taken away from you.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to ask you if you don't mind. Yeah. So the bigger you are, you have to obviously downsize when it comes to portions and food. But the smaller you are, is it the opposite, meaning you have to eat more to become bigger?
Well, if you do want to become big, if your goal is to become bigger, then yes, you definitely got to be at a surplus and eat more. But if you're small and you still want to descend on more, so on your weight, then you definitely gonna have to be a more.
Like saying you're trying to move up in weight class.
Yeah,
if you want to be a fighter.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, if you're trying to move up, yeah, you're gonna have to eat more, and you also gonna have to bulk up, because you're gonna have to understand that people at the higher divisions, they're gonna be bigger too. So
and you can get chin check.
Yeah.
You can get I've been chin check.
Yeah, this is not my world, y'all. So as y'all can see.
No, yeah, but like honestly, it's like if you are going up from where you are. Let's say you weigh like 135 or so, right?
Something.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be okay versus you be a lot more sturdy versus cutting down. Yeah, versus cutting down on weight. Then you're leaving your body more depleted, so you'd be less. Okay. You're less able to take handle strikes, you know? Okay. Yeah.
So I would, for you, just go to training.
Yeah. You said just go train, period.
That's a learning. I'll take train first.
I'll take it. Okay. There's no... so we can reverse back to you get into the UFC, right? Yeah. You get a beautiful knockout. Fantastic combination. Led him to your, left kick. Put him out. How did that feel?
Hey, that felt marvelous, yo. After as soon as that foot landed, I was like, man, that was it, because that's something we've drilled multiple times in here. The coach Jamal, he's had us always work on that post and kick. So once it landed, man, that was just money right there, you know. But yeah, that's really it, man. That felt money. That felt great.
I know you went home and ate some jollof.
Oh man,
it's not as good as Sierra Leone jollof, but it is. You know, it's doable.
You think I could have handled such a knockout eating Sierra Leone jollof?
Absolutely, absolutely.
No sir, no sir. That's Cameroonian jollof to the finest. Listen. That's the best jollof. That's how that head kick come about. thinking about Jollof.
But that's a good point. You mentioned healthcare. On a serious note, what are the safety protocols?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, does the coach say, like, hey, we're not going to hit this hard, or we not going below the belt? Like, what are those conversations in this line of work?
Well, like, if you're going into a fight and you have an injury and you're still planning to go forward with the fight, like, for me, I had a fight where I had basically a partially torn labrum, and my coach would have me work around that just so we don't aggravate that more, so that when we get in there, we can still be in the best in our condition to perform. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to trust like your coach to know like when to pull you out of a fight and when he don't feel comfortable for you to continue. So safety measures, I guess, would be like you and also your coach. You should know yourself enough to know that if you're gonna go to a actual fist fight where you have to be at your best and you're not 100% and you can hurt yourself even further, it's between you and your coach as well. So yeah, I'm blessed to have good coaches who've been in there for forever, done this forever, and like they can tell how to manage that stuff. So
and we got to give a shout out to all of the coaches out there.
Yeah,
it's just training and obviously building us up to become better versions.
Exactly.
I don't know why he just said us, but
listen,
he said this guy exclude yourself.
But anyway, if we keep going towards the UFC, so you make your debut, devastating knockout, you move up, and then you face Asimov. Asimov, scary. He looks Russian, but they all look the same. I know that sounds wrong, but they all look the same. Don't beat me up. You fight Asimov, all jokes aside. You were thinking about something throughout before you came into that fight. You get caught with a shot. I know how you feel, but as to non-fighters, how can you explain the feeling of defeat and getting caught?
Dang. That's a hard feeling to explain to people who haven't been there, but that's one of those times where it's like I was such in a space of disbelief because I was doing so good in that fight. I was doing so good. Not to take anything away from my opponent. That was a perfectly timed shot right there. He noticed I got too excited, went in there ready to finish out the fight. He took this time and landed a good shot. Wasn't a lucky shot. He landed that perfectly. But as far as like the aftermath of it, it's like, man, I just had to sit with myself for a while and be like, dang. I was just saying in my head, just running through that moment over and over and over. And just like, it was horrible, but it's just something I had to deal with at the end of the day, you know? Yeah. It was a long process. It wasn't something I just got over right away because it's something I really cared about. I put my whole entire heart into this. It's like, so that joint hit me pretty hard, you know? But at the end of the day, I've done it to other people. So I got it.
That is true.
You win some,
you win some, you lose some.
I'm telling you guys have to check out his highlight reel. He touches you, you sleep. Yeah. It's like NyQuil with steroids.
No, NyQuil with Jollof. Cameroon and Jollof.
Why you have to add it?
No, I have to put Jollof because Jollof is influenced by my... Jollof
That's
influence
true.
of power.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Don't give it to me. It's what it is.
It's not the fact. He said 50%.
I like you, though.
You see, the Akata is already 50%. So I can't stand it.
He said it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. If this is a phone, you call it a phone. If Jollof is good, you call it Cameroonian Jollof.
You call it Cameroonian Jollof.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's agreeing. Have you even ever tasted a Jollof?
I haven't, but I'm gonna try it.
You see that?
I want to see what
you see
that.
You should. I'm telling you, man.
That?
You in the right area too.
He doesn't even
There's
know
a lot of
Jollof. Yeah, Judas.
Don't worry.
Don't hate
here.
on it.
Don't worry, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to influence you. And try them all. You know, the right one will call. The right one will call you. The right one will call you. All right. Yeah.
I got you. I'm gonna take it over.
But as what can you say after that? You have 2 fights canceled, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a fight coming up soon. Mm-hmm. What can you say to Africans back home who want to become fighters? I mean, nowadays we see, for instance, Ngannou, your countryman. You see Adesanya. You see all these different, even Sadiq, your own teammate, coming up. What can you say to the brothers back home and even to the brothers here that want to, and the sisters too, that want to become fighters? What can you give them for advice or encouragement?
Well, advice, I would say, man, y'all built for this. Y'all built for this. Like
confidence.
Yeah, like honestly, it's like this. Especially if you're from back home, like the upbringing, it kind of already kind of like as far as mentality, y'all already kind of should already be there. I'm speaking. Well, I can't really speak for everybody. Speaking for myself, you know, like yeah. As long as you just believe in yourself and be consistent with whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it be martial arts or whatever it is that you're trying to do, you're gonna get there, man. You just got to be consistent and make sure you stick to it, because the moment you choose to falter is the moment you're gonna fall apart. So just stick to it. Stick to it.
That is an excellent way of putting it. And for people who want to go back to Africa in terms of from the diaspora, like my brother here, AP. No shade, no, I mean for real. Like, what would you tell them? Like, what would you say about the beautiful motherland that is Africa?
Hey, I would say from like what I remember, because I haven't been back since I've been back, but like back home, I can remember the idea of America I had before I came here was so like exaggerated. When I came here and I realized back home was so much. I already had everything I needed. Everything was so simple, so nice. Here, everything is like super complicated. I think about the lifestyle back home. I mean, like, I'll say definitely go back, at least any of the countries there. Try it out. Go back and see what Africa is really like, because the portrayal of Africa sometimes is not what it is. You know, it's a beautiful place. You know, just go out and explore. You know,
venture a little.
Be a venture. There we go. Yeah, adventures.
Before we let you go, I gotta ask you, because you just asked, what advice would you give to anyone that wants to get into fighting? Mm-hmm. What do you say to the parents? Because you said that your mom originally she was against you getting into, having this type of career. Yeah. So what do you say to parents that are against their children becoming fighters?
I would say have some more faith in your child. You know. Like encourage them to try something if they're interested in it, because that's how they're gonna further their whatever career path that they're choosing. Like for my mom, you know, African parents, I'm speaking in general. This was just not the wave at all. But like I could say, like if I had like more encouragement and like more support like earlier on, man, I feel like I could have made this journey a whole lot faster than I would have, because everything I had to basically go and source on my own and stuff. I would say, hey, give your child a little bit more support. Believe in them a little bit more. You know. All right.
It's a busy man.
Yeah.
Wow.
My food cooker is.
I
say, where are you?
Well, so before we let you go, we'll put your social media down here. What's your social media?
Yeah.
Where do you train at? Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to add to that? And it's yours.
Okay. My name is Tafon Nchukwi. You can find me on Instagram, Tafon the Don. Social media, Tafon Nchukwi as well. I train here at Lloyd Irvin, the best gym in the DMV. Mm-hmm. If you are looking to try martial arts, come through. Free again. Bringing this word back up. Yeah. We do have a free day trial here. Come out and try. You never know. A couple years later, you might be sitting here just like me, from the UFC. So come try something new. Yes. And hey. That's about it.
Bless.
That's right. Thank you again.
All right. Oh yeah. Thank you guys for having me. All right, guys.